Hi, welcome to the shop. Let's start the tour in the machine shop. First machine is the Bridgeport. This is a 2-axis CNC with 3-axis DRO. This is the first machine that I got when I started doing machining. When I first got it, it had an obsolete Analam CNC control. I used it for a while and it was kind of okay, a little bit of a pain in the butt to use, and then it died. Instead of fixing it by buying obsolete Analam replacement parts, I replaced the control with a Windows computer, a Galil motion control card. Had to do a lot of reverse engineering and wire tracing. The documentation wasn't really that good. And now it's running Mach 3 software. One of the cool things about Mach 3 is that you can make custom user interface screens. And this is a lot cleaner than the regular Mach 3 screen. It even has my logo on it. The machine is controlled by a variable frequency drive, a VFD, and not only does this convert the single phase into 3-phase, but it also provides controlled acceleration and braking. It slows the spindle really fast, so I almost never need to use the spindle brake. Very useful way to operate the machine. The machine has a power drawbar. There's the control right there. Makes it really, really fast to change collets. And speaking of collets, I like collets. I use collets for everything. I have a set of collets they're graduated in 64ths, so I can pretty much fit any tool in there. I don't use a drill chuck for drills. I use collets. And I use short stubby drills that are about the same length as the milling cutters, so I don't have to constantly raise the table up and down to go back and forth from drilling to milling. This is a custom-made stand. You can tell because of the yellow. And of course I like putting logos on things. Keeps all the tools right there and ready to use. I like having the tools presented and well labeled, so I just reach for one, don't have to go digging, don't have to go searching for it. Got a mist coolant system, works pretty good. Not quite as good as flood coolant, but works pretty good. The next machine is a full 3-axis CNC. This is a Tormach, and it has an automatic tool changer so that you can change tools in a program and go from one tool to another. It's a fairly nice machine. No, it's not as good as some of the better CNC out there, but it does the job and it fits in the space, and it was somewhat affordable. Custom-made stand there and splash enclosure for the flood coolant. I keep all the tools that I commonly use in these little quick disconnect tool holders, so I almost never have to actually get out a collet wrench and put a tool in a collet, and the machine memorizes the tool length, so I pretty much just grab a tool, stick it in, and go make parts. Got a bunch of interesting stuff down here. These are a lot of the tooling plates for the Inquala and other projects. Down on the bottom is a device called the Tormach Rapid Turn, and it fits, take the vices off, and it fits on the table of the mill, and then you attach a cutting tool to the spindle, not the rotating part, the fixed part, and it provides, and it connects, of course, to the control software, and it provides a fairly usable, minimal CNC lathe capability. It's not a great CNC lathe, but hey, it does work, and I do use it to make parts. Moving over to the other side here, this is a cutoff saw. It's not an abrasive saw, it's a cold cutting carbide saw. Makes a pretty clean cut. and it's mounted on a bearing because the saw itself doesn't move for cutting angles. The fence moves. And when the fence moves for cutting an angle, I want to be able to have the stock go on stay in the same line, go on the support, and if it's really long, it even goes out the back door. Of course I have a Wilton vise. You gotta have a Wilton vise. It's a classic. And got some storage up here, and little dinky surface plate. TIG welder. I really like TIG welding. It may be slow, but sure do get a good result. Got a plasma cutter and Scotch-Brite wheel. Big one and a little one. There's my shop coat with my logo. Do like those logos. DeWalt tools. Boy, I sure like DeWalt tools. Over here is the cleaning area. This thing, this ugly kind of looking thing here, when the house was listed for sale, the real estate brochure called it a dog washing station. Of course, I use it for a shop sink, as you can see. Looks like a shop sink. It's actually a bathtub mounted in a cabinet. Here's a nice Costco stainless toolbox. Some more tools. And then over in the other space, nice table saw, clamps, dust collection system. The shop started its life. When I first started building the shop, it was a wood shop. It wasn't really a machine shop from the beginning or a glassworking shop. And for the wood shop, I thought it would be a good idea to put all of the machines on wheels, so that they could be rolled out of the way when it's necessary to park a car in here. And then if I ever need to use the tool, move it into the center and have a full shop to work with. I even put wheels on this workbench. Get down here where you can see them. It's got an air cylinder. So when there's no air pressure, the table sits flat and kind of rigid on the floor. You pump it up and it rolls around really nice. Got an air dryer for spray painting. Cut-off saw. Once again, the cut-off saw is aligned with the door, so if I'm ever cutting a long piece of material, it's got somewhere for the end to go. Got some sanders here. I love sanders. I love abrasive machining. And these are pretty nice ones. And got some metal in the metal rack here, a little stock to work with. Got some more metal stock down here, clamps, dust collection system, of course. And then there's a whizzery in case I ever need to whiz. The shop is 2,500 square feet, but it's not all in one room. It's divided up into a bunch of little rooms, which sometimes is convenient, sometimes is inconvenient. It does kind of keep the clean part clean and keeps the dirty part away from contaminating the clean part. This is the office, computer, electronic lab, and clean assembly area. Just so happens that I've got an Inquala here finished today, ready to go out for a customer. Over here I've got some marine slices that I'm trying to figure out what to do with and putting them together in various patterns and thinking about ideas for what to do next. This is the Inquala part stock, and it's looking pretty depleted. I'm kind of running out of parts. I might have to make some more if I keep selling them at this rate. Yeah, gotta have that logo. Moving over here, got your basic electronic bench, really nice soldering station. Gotta have a microscope for doing surface mount assembly. There's an Inquala circuit board and a new design, slightly modified enclosure for the circuit board. Of course, I built the table, custom made. Got a 3D printer, computer, and years ago, I used to be fairly seriously involved in music. LoudRoundRecords.com is my hobby record company. And over here is all the CDs that me and my music buddies made over the years. Most of it is from the 80s, but some is from the 90s, and some is even fairly recent. And then there's the photos of all of the different studios and all the different places where we made music. Also, in the past, I used to be fairly seriously involved in photography, and these are my photographs. The photographs actually serve double duty. Not only are they decorative, but they're protruding from the wall at different elevations. The worst sounding room that you can have is a room with parallel walls, and so I did a bit of acoustic treatment. The photographs break up that smooth wall a bit. Got some bass traps in the corner, a little bit of acoustic foam, and it does sound a little bit better than it did when I moved in, but it's still not really a great sounding room. In the back here is the warehouse and lathe room. So manual lathe with DRO, really nice one. And I put it up on blocks because I'm tall and lathes are just too damn short. I do like organization. I like to keep all of my parts well organized. I hate to be scrounging around looking for parts. And so here's all the small parts, threaded fasteners, somewhat larger parts, all labeled and organized, sheet goods, abrasives, drill bits, some wood. And remember, I said that the shop started off as a woodworking shop, and I really like sanders, and so I got a couple of sanders. I don't use them that much anymore, and I really don't have any place to put them, so they're just sitting here unused. If I ever need to use them, I'm going to have to figure out a way to control the dust so it doesn't get my lathe all dusty. And pretty soon now, I'm going to build another one of those really cool tool stands for all the lathe tools. I'm just getting started here with a rack for the quick disconnect tools. This rolling workbench is kind of interesting. It's got hinged extension pieces, so when it's all folded up, it's 4 by 4, and when it unfolds, it's 4 by 8. Kind of a good way to make use of a limited space. And once again, trying to keep everything really organized. So let's walk back around here. And here we have the glassworking shop. I didn't want to modify the house too much, and so I didn't want to poke a hole in the wall, so I just took out a window and put in the fan for the exhaust. This is a large diameter fan operating at slow speed. Large fans operating at slow speed can move a lot of air and still stay really quiet. In order to operate at the speed that I needed it to operate, I needed to use a DC motor instead of a regular AC motor because AC motors don't like running slow, and that's connected down to a power supply, and it works really well. It exhausts really well, and it's really quiet. The new glassworking bench, just finished a few days ago. Metal frame, a unistrut along the front so that everything can be moved around and reconfigured. Got a Delta Mag torch, A bunch of hand torches. Hand torches work really, really well with the Inquala. And of course, I have the Inquala, some of the experimental parts that I test here before releasing them to the public. Storage rack for glass. My old glass bench was just getting too messy. There was just too much crap on it. And so the new bench is smaller, and I want to make sure that I don't have any crap on the bench, just what I'm working on. Similar to the machine shop, I've got a kind of a rack here, custom-made rack for the glass-working tools. All the shelves are made of stainless steel, so I can put hot tools on it and not burn up anything. There's the mini squeezer with its new quick disconnect tool change. Got a little kiln and lots of dies of various different sizes, configurations, and shapes for the squeezer. The squeezer has two kinds of die configurations: iris dies that can squeeze any size, and fixed dies that squeeze in a straight line, but you have to have one die for every size you're making. This is a 4-axis 4x4-foot CNC router. Now, remember that I said the shop was originally a wood shop. It's not the world's greatest idea to have a CNC router in a glassworking shop, but I work with what I have, and when I use the thing, I have to clean up everything because the dust gets everywhere, and I don't like dust on my glass. But this machine works really well. And the 4th axis is where I make the Inquala handles. Gotta have that logo. And continuing with the organization, I've got my color rods. I'm even organizing my shorts. I've got a bunch more of those little plastic bins ordered to keep the shorts under control. Full-length rods, spare propane, more rods, gas. Scum slacker. That's actually a poor translation of the Swedish word for fire extinguisher. If I actually spoke Swedish, I'd probably be able to pronounce it properly, but if you just look at the way the word is written, sure looks like scum slacker. Going outside to the cold working shop, got a backup generator, bunch of electric, metal. Here's my metal stock. Most of the stuff I make is made out of extrusions cut to length. Much easier than chopping up a big plate. A vibratory polisher, vacuum pump. This is the one of my projects, a custom-made lap wheel. Works really well. And over here is another project, a 10-inch wet saw. Got lots of holes in the base plate. The base plate is on precision linear bearings that are, of course, protected against the glass dust. There's the logo again. Protected against the glass dust, and there's lots of holes on the base plate for fixtures. I've got a lot of ideas for precision cutting and precision lapping of glass to try to get increasing my precision and making just more and more and more accurate marine designs, geometric marine designs. So that's the shop. I love it here. Thanks for watching.